did a chat for 20 minutes with a guest, and we didn't realize that I hadn't pressed the live button. So after 20 minutes, I said, do you mind if we go back to the start? I've got to press the live button, and we had to go all the way through the first 20 minutes. The only time I've done it. Last week, on last Saturday's nights, I forgot the guy. I didn't forget the guy's name. I misspelt it by one letter. So instead of calling him Arvid, I spelt it Arvin.
Oh.
But he was very graceful about it. He didn't mind at all. Oh, folks, we're live. You caught us having a little green room chat with the one only Roberto Viacava, the best kept secret in indie comics, with the best kept secret of an indie comic book. And tell you what, we're going to almost end up doing the show before we actually do this. Let's get into it, folks. We need to take that off so we can do this. I'll tell you what, Roberto, I love it when we do that. Bit of Hitchcock, a bit of Planet of the Apes kind of vibes going on. Classic storytellers, great soundtracks. And I'll tell you what, it's so good to finally meet you in the flesh, or the virtual flesh, via Star Trek technology. It's been a long time coming. Big fan of your comic, big fan of your art, big fan of you, yeah? So tell you what.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And I'm in the flesh. I'm not AI or anything.
Yeah, well, we didn't think you were AI, but we just had to check. Right, here we go. I tell you what, folks, we are the 5 pillars of storytelling. We are live. Azrael finally meets Roberto Viacava. Timeless gentleman, timeless artist, timeless indie comic. We do a bit of art, comics, movies, games, and toys. Last week's guest, or last Sunday's guest, was the most popular show ever. We've tripled our audience numbers just for that one show. Absolute record. Yeah? I tell you what, that was his first show. He was very shy, very nervous. He got into it. He warmed into it. And I tell you what, he was as tightened by the time we'd finished with him on the show. In fact, he was that confident. He had a big window and he was looking like the lawyer from The Simpsons. He thought, I've got to get out of here because Kyle won't let me go. Azrael won't let me go. So yes, you might need a big window to escape this into by the end. We're doing 2 hours because we've got indie comics royalty in the house. What we've got here, we've got a Canadian set of oranges. Can confirm Roberto is not AI. Hey, that's a bit of Santillo in the house there. Looks vaguely like him.
Yeah, Adriano, Canadian Oranges. It's Adriano. It's Pesto Comics. He's a friend of mine, and we do the Instant Ink comic book podcast together, where we create a page. I draw, and he interviewed the guests.
Right.
We recorded the last episode yesterday. Not the last. We recorded a new episode yesterday.
I'll tell you what, Canadian Oranges, if you want to follow the show, we could do a mutual YouTube follow swap. They call them subs on YouTube, but on X, we call them follows. You only have to log in and you give us a like and a follow. And I'll tell you what, we can back scratch on that, can't we? A bit of mutual back scratching. Good to have you in the chat, Canadian Oranges. And we have got in the house tonight, who's actually in the audience for our biggest ever chat and biggest ever viewed show, 300% bigger. It's Ben Marchant. You're not AI, Roberto. Not sure about Azrael, though. Azrael's AI-ness, or otherwise, all natural, we would say, as yet is a thing of enigmatic mystery. Who knows when was Azrael? Where was he? And what was he? Well, hopefully we'll be able to find out in the future. Right then.
I've got to show your hands to.
Oh, here's the hand. We have not got 6 fingers.
Yeah.
Just saying. Very good, Roberto. Good catch, Roberto Viacava. Very witty, a man of humor. I tell you what, he speaks so fast. We think he's great at English. He's like the Ferrari of English speakers. Secret. Just saying, folks. Right then, tell you what we're going to do here is I'm going to put that comment up and say, welcome. I like to actually touch type in the chat, but I think X at the weekend infected our brain through our touch time fingers. And we've been doing sort of like dyslexia touch typing, which is a bit weird for us because normally we don't make too many mistakes and autocorrect as we go along. Must be AI and X that's kind of infected our brain. So I say, welcome, Canadian. I can do this while interviewing Mr. Master Viacava, Canadian oranges. Are Canadian oranges, do they taste any good then, Canadian oranges? I wonder. And just
I've tasted good apples, but oranges not so much.
Welcome, Martian. Well, we love oranges. We put one in our smoothie. Was it last night? I'll tell you what, we got here a wise guy here. What about toes? We're not doing that on the show, Bear Marchant. Behave yourself. And well, yeah, welcome, Master Oranges. And what we got here? Welcome, Bear Marchant. Yeah, we welcomed him too. Yeah, he's part of the chat, and I'll publish it. The chat was absolutely exploding and rocking at 7 p.m. This past Sunday. I'll tell you what, Jay Long and his heavyweight book. Tell you what, he's got a lot of interest, got a lot of sales to the store. We're going to have to back it. We also after a bit of a t-shirt as well. Maybe we can work on the show and do a bit of promo for him. Maybe get some more sales. Anybody wants to do that out there with us? You want to send us a t-shirt and promo your indie book? Just saying. Hey, you got to sell it, man. It's all about that. Right, let's get on to it's Wednesday, 28th of May. It does say 7 p.m., but we started at the earlier time of 5 p.m. That's one mistake we stuffed up on. We didn't remember our vid's name on Saturday night. We misspelt that. The first guest's name was misspelt. We've apologized to him profusely. He's very graceful about it, and we've changed his name back to his proper name on the actual video details. So our vid, our humble apologies. We'll promise to do better. So, anyway, let's move on. So it's not 5 p.m. It's Greenwich Mean Time. Everybody's going to be thinking, where's Azrael? He said 7 p.m. It's actually 5 p.m. So I'll tell you what, we're going to do that now. Sorry, Roberto, I just got to. I'm just going to do this now. Say, I'm going to put sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. Azrael can't tell the time. It's not at 7 p.m. Don't do me. You can't get names right. You can't get the time. It's not 7 p.m. It's
my fault. I couldn't make it at 7 p.m.
It's at 5 p.m. folks. I'll just put here. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Guys can't tell the time. The time. There we go. I'll just put here a little Union Jack and just, hey man, we can say. I'll put here and I'll put where put this bit here. Sorry, Robert, I'll be with you a sec. We're actually exclamation mark in brackets live now. There we go. That's it. That's it. And post that again. So anyway, let's get back into it. Yes, it's not 7 p.m. folks. It's 5 p.m. Let's move on. Right, host introduction. Hello there. Welcome to the 5 Pillars of Storytelling Live, where we talk about art, comics, movies, games, and toys. Hey, what's up with being a grown-up man-child? We like a bit of that. We can be forever young. Roberto, what's your favorite toy?
Oh,
I got him there. You see that? Sucker punch. Poof.
You got me there.
Action Man, Star Wars figures.
I had a lot of Playmobil growing up. Do you know those toys?
Oh yeah, go on.
It's like the German version of Lego, but it's not bricks. It's just the. Oh, sorry. I have a phone call.
Well, that's right. Take it if you want.
Yeah. No, wait. Give me a second. I have to take this.
No bother. That's how you take it right now. It could be important. It could be life-changing. We love this. A bit of gossip. We'll promise not to listen in. You never know what phone call it might be. So we promise not to listen in on him. We'll give him a bit of privacy. So anyway, I am your basically hello there. Well, welcome to the Five Plus Storytelling. I've done that bit, Azrael. We're talking about art, comics, movies, games, and toys. I'm your host, Azrael. My secret identity is Kyle Prometheus, storyteller, artist, promoter of indie comics, well, indie creators, indie comics, and the indie comic community. We're doing our humble bit to grow the indie comics community. Every follow count, folks. Every referral, every comment, every retweet, every retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Basically, it's a follow on X. You log into YouTube, and basically the subscribe doesn't cost anything. It's free to do if you sign in. Inspiring quote. Welcome back, Roberto. Comics are an international language. They can cross boundaries and generations. Comics are a bridge between all cultures. Ozumu, Tezuka, legend, manga, anime. Right then, next thing we're going to do is a bit of this. Guest introduction. We like to do things for our guests. Guest introduction. It's Roberto Viacava, the best kept secret in indie comics and in indie artists. We would say pros for them. They don't have to say it because generally artists and indie comic creators are quite modest. We'll say it for them. We'd like to do something positive, do a bit green room chat before we start the show. And we tend to do a background check on all the people that we have on the show. We send out our crack reconnaissance team to find out about them. Backfired when we did it with brother Dionysius. His bodyguard is a werewolf, so only out of the 3 people we sent to his security impound, only 1 made it back, and basically said, "We quit. Next time you want something," there are also sketchy details on a bit of tissue paper handed over. "We quit, and if you want somebody to do any more background checks, we suggest you get another employer because we're out of here." So yes, but no, the show will. We call him Brother Dia. Yeah, it was great, and he does a comic called The Tomb of Reckoning. He's now up to his issue 4, and we suspect that soon Roberto Viacava will be up to issue 4 with the one and only Voyager. Yeah. So Robert Viacava is an independent comic book creator and one of the best indie comic artists out there. He's the best kept secret in terms of indie comic artists out there. Yeah. With writer Santullo, they have created Voyager, the best kept secret in indie comics. We know because we've tried to push it with our shoulder as much as we can. Even when the numbers are a bit low for the Kickstarter, we pushed it all week to try and get it over the line. You know, maybe us and a few of us really helped get it over there, and with Roberto's help as well. I mean, it's quality, but you know, some books, you know, ignite and get popular. Others are like, you know, like that band, you know, that's the cool band, and you know who they are before they become metallic and become famous. See what we did there, Bear Marchant? But basically, Robert Viacava and Voyager is before the band become famous. We think it's got another gear of popularity, and while we're backing it, we're going to make sure it gets just that little bit more noticed. This is our chance today to put Roberto and his comic and his crime fighting partner Santullo in the spotlight. Yeah, get it a bit more known, shine a bit of love on it. Yeah, say some nice things. So with writer Santullo, they've created Voyager, the best kept secret in indie comics. Together they have scooped a handful of recognition awards. Together they have forged Voyager 1, Voyager 2, Voyager 3, and these are a timeless indie comic story of legendary fire. We'll find out a bit more, but we're not going to say anything about it. We're an alien who knows nothing. Oops, let out a Freudian slip there. We can confirm that Azrael is not really an alien. We find this compelling. We've backed this timeless quality indie comic 3 times. We can't wait for 4. We want more. Welcome to a talented and humble man himself, Roberto Viacava.
Thank you, Azrael, for that introduction. That was really nice, and I should say that you're a man that put your money where your mouth is. So thank you very much.
You're very kind to say so. We'd like to think so. We're starting in life. After the last 3 years in the Darkness Wars, Azrael has decided to pick up his sword of light and wield it to shine a light where there are creators everywhere. We don't care if you've got 1 follower or 1,000 followers. We specialize in that 1 to 1,000 area. And we have to give a shout out to Peter Samiti of Alternate Comics. He's actually running a crowdfunder to fund his own printing press for small creators, between 1 and 1,000. And he's going to specialize in the 1 to 200 range. And that's where 90% of indie creators are. It's a very good business plan idea, because lots of people need affordable printing in that 1 to 200 arena. Whereas a lot of big printers, they want you 1,000, 2,000, 10, 5,000 print runs, to get the lower prices. Whereas Pete Samiti, he's currently running a crowdfunder on Fund My Comic. For yourself, Roberto, you might think, you know what, maybe I want a small print run, maybe check him out. He does traditional newsprint, that kind of comics you used to get in the Bronze era, in the 70s, that you can smell them and go, oh, baby, old bookshop smell. Gotta love that old comic smell, man. Don't start us on sniffing comics, folks. Pete Sameti of Alternative Comics and us, we were spent about 5 minutes talking about the smell of comics. Isn't it great? And then half the show went, and then we had to rush towards the end to finish it. And and just the feel of it, indie comics, you just want to get your hands on it. And anyway, this is a family-friendly show. We won't go down that particular road. We don't want people thinking we're being just a little bit naughty, which of course we're not. We're a gentleman of pious purity of thoughts, as our humble guests in the chat know full well. Wait a minute, Bear Marchant is saying that his favourite toy was corgi cars. We like the dinky ones, Bear Marchant, but hey, corgi cars were cool too. We had an entire landing strip full of dinkies. You know what I mean? You have your dedicated wall of dinky toys, but yeah, corgis were cool as well. And obviously the racetrack where it goes, start at the top and it goes, does the loop. Anyway, let's get on with it before Azrael forgets his name. Right, so then let's move swiftly on. Right then, we do websites, because if somebody's got a good website, you need to look at With the Real, humbly, go and have a little look at the website and see what good practice is, because we're not just about the art, we're about the commerce. Business plan, art, business, get it? Commercial art, as it used to be called, yeah? Some people got a problem with making money for a living. Not I. I'm sure Roberto's making money as he slaves over his art as well. Hey, you know what I mean? Keeps the wolves from the door, and you never know. You might be able to afford a brown sauce sandwich with the income you get coming in. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Look at this for a website, folks. Illustrations, superheroes, comics, portraiture, commissions, all ages children work, and classical kind of pulp art noir that you might get from pulp cover books from the 40s and 50s. It's something like maybe The Shadow, The Spider. I mean, this guy is an illustrator who can also do comics. He's like the Steve Rude. No, what's this of indie comics? We kid you not. He's a fine artist, illustrator, and then he's a comic artist. He's great at both. You see where we're coming from? You know, if you say Steve Rude, you can actually go to Steve Rude's YouTube now and perch on the shoulder of the master and watch while he paints, watch while he does comics, watch while he does commissions, and he sells his stuff directly. He says, this stuff's on my website. You see him work, build up a relationship with him, go to his website, buy something, support him, yeah? I tell you what, we didn't buy Steve Rude's Nexus in the 80s, but we should have done. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, so anyway, let's, you know. Oh, this is probably the best. You see all the popular images of, shall I say, Ison. We think this is the best one ever. Eric July, we're going to send this to Eric July and say, Eric, you need another variant for Ison 3. Or this one should be a variant for Ison 4. We're going to do it for you so you don't have to. If you want to do it, you can just back me. You can just retweet it when we do it. We'll take the hit for you, you know. We'll take the hit for you, brother. Tell you what, this guy's really at heart. Us two, we're probably ancient Greek brothers. He can do the sword. We can bring the pot of wine, the jug of wine. We'll bring the jug of wine today and maybe a bit of clay to the fight. But Viacava, we know he can handle a sword and shield, no problem. But look at this. It's got noir pulp shadows. This is something that would have been forged in the 40s and 50s. What a picture this is. It's in silhouette. It's got that. His painting's got almost like Monet, brushstroke expressionism. It's almost like he's inspired by the great masters. Are you inspired by any of the great masters when you paint like this, Roberto? Anybody? Yeah. You know? Go on.
Yes. I'm very bad with names, but Wait. Yeah, I'm really bad with names, but a couple of years ago during the pandemic, I take a class with Visual Art Passage. There are great illustrators there, and I think it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the names now, but
No, in your own time, sir.
okay. One of the illustrators there was Sean Foster, and I really like his work. And one of the teachers were Sean English. Sorry, I should wrote it down first. But if you search for Visual Art Passage, you will see the great work they do. And I try to improve my art every time.
Like a daily thing?
Sorry?
Every day? Is it like every day you paint and draw? Sketchbook?
Yes. I try to, yes.
Good man, you can tell.
Yeah. And what else?
What about this? We remember this from your art stream, because remember the first few art streams you did?
Yes.
Live? We sat in with you. You didn't have any other viewers, but we said, don't worry, one day they will come, yeah? Are you getting more viewers now on your art stream?
I stopped doing that. Not because I had no audience, because I had some steps back in my life, and I have to take care of some other things. But I'll be back.
You have to put your time to that. It can always come back, and by the time we finish with you, we're that popular that when you do the art stream again, you'll have the place rocking. Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Yeah. No bother.
If you want to see me drawing live, but not live, but on camera, you can watch the Instant Ink podcast.
Instant Ink podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this was one of the things we remember you starting, but we didn't get to see you finishing. Tell us. We know who inspired it, but we'd rather you tell us about it. Go on, then.
Okay, there's a kids show that it's called The Octonauts, and my kids love it, so I decided to make an ultimate version, a more realistic one, and it was fun to do.
I'll tell you what, folks, you know what? When we look at that, we think Roberto does the ultimate version of almost anything that we've seen so far. And we're moving on to the next one. You can also do this. Tell us about this one. Team Blue, Batman.
I think this was on one live stream too. Sometimes I'm thinking about images and or situations, and that's
hey, Ink in the house. Hello there, Instant Ink podcast. That's us. Well, what do we have here? We have a podcast rival in the house. Ding, ding, ding. Jerry. Let's get in the ring. We're going to get in the ring. No, what we're going to do, Instant Ink, we're going to make you an offer that you might refuse it, but maybe an offer you can't refuse. If you're not a follower of us on YouTube, they call it subscribes on YouTube, don't they? Where you just log in and do a follow. It's called a sub, but it doesn't cost anything. If you want to mutually sub us, we'll follow you, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, you follow us, we'll follow you. Yeah, and I tell you what, maybe we'll be able to catch some of your, shall I say, streams with Roberto doing some of his, we think, in a class of his own, best kept secret artwork. Yeah, how about that? There's an offer for you. Every follow, every sub counts. We call it the power of one.
Great. So, that's nice.
Just welcome to Instant. Let's see if I spell it right. It's very hard to even if you've got a reasonable touch type. It's very hard to touch type. Instant Ink comic book podcast. We also
I think that the name is my fault, but I didn't realize it was hard to pronounce. Instant Ink.
There we go. So yes, we like this Batman. It's a Team Blue. You can do Roberto can do Team Blue. You know what we say to this one? The scream alone is worth it. Anybody who has read The Dark Knight knows what we're saying. It's going down. Just tell him what he wants to know. Otherwise, you might have another little accelerator ride going down to near the pavement. He might get it wrong, and then your brains might not work too well. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Team Red, Marvel Comics, as we call them, Jack Kirby Universe Comics. Oh, Azrael, don't be like that. You know you don't talk about sex, politics, religion, or drama on your show. So, who explain this one to us, please, Roberto?
This is just inspired on couple of cosplayers that I saw doing Wolverine, the girls doing Wolverine at Deadpool, and I thought it was cute, so I did my version.
I'll tell you what we like about Roberto. He just, it was just some little something I did. It's like, yeah, you know what? Cosplay is like being a walking billboard. The sandwich boards that people advertise people's stores and wander around New York, and they got a piece of wood on one side with writing on it and a piece of writing on the back, and they walk around promoting people's stores. When somebody cosplays your comic, you know you've arrived. One day, Roberto, we prophesize that somebody will cosplay your two characters that we're going to come to in a little while. I'll tell you what, can he handle Team Red? He's got the chops. Can he do Star Wars? Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is a test I did for a game. I think it was a game of cards, but I didn't get there. They liked it, but it wasn't the style that we were looking for. So it happens.
I'll tell you what, if somebody said Star Wars role-playing game, that'd be a brilliant cover for a Star Wars role-playing game, old school role-playing game. And I tell you what, lovely composition featuring our favorite Star Wars character, Obi-Wan. Well, actually, it's a tie between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. And they're actually one character, we think, they're two sides of the same coin of a decent guy who's trying to do the right thing in the world. And listen, folks, and we know us guys get a lot of bad press because, the mainstream press haven't got anything good to say about us. But 80% of guys love their ladies and would do anything for them. And we're speaking in code right now. You know what I mean? If you've got a guy like that, hang on to him because you're lucky. It's not always about being the Hollywood star and all that business. Is he turning up 8% of the time? Is he trying his best for you? Just saying. But yeah, lovely cover. We love your sense of textured color. You know what I mean? You've got a good sense of color, and the composition's got depth. You kind of follow it in. It's almost like Gil Kane, the Silver Age artist from the 70s and the 80s. He just had that lovely triangular composition where it's almost like that and would go into the cover in layers, foreground, middle ground, background.
Yes, I love to do that to make to make it feel like there is a space, there is a depth on the painting.
That is something we've still got to grapple with as an artist. But going forwards, there'll be no one to stop us this time. So yes, the art is coming, Azrael, isn't it? Well, maybe so. We shall see about that one. Tell us about this one. You do commission work for other people to the left. This one, Worst of Mayhem.
Yes. This Worst of Mayhem. I read the first chapter, and it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, search for it. I think the campaign for the third number it's already gone, but when the fourth come up, look it up because these guys are incredible. It's super funny. The interior art has nothing to do with what I do, but you're gonna laugh your ass off. It's impressive.
Tell you what, it actually features a lady with a sword. Now, just probably a dark sword. And when a lady's got a sword, don't say we triple dare you. Don't say this is a Hollywood reference. You haven't got the guts. Just back away, leave her alone. Just live to fight another day, guys. Anyway, sorry, we were just drifting away there for a second. Right, and tell us about this one. This is a side project. It's not Voyager. It's almost like Doc Savage, a Man of Bronze style kind of thing. Have you got a thing for pulp age classics like The Shadow and Doc Savage? Is that you're kind of quite learned?
Yeah. I like those kind of stories, and this in particular, Nathaniel Fox is a kind of Indiana Jones, Dog Savage, and in the second chapter has some of the King Kong vibe. There is no giants apes, but you have the jungle and another creature, so it's really interesting. The script is by Santulo, Rodolfo Santulo, that it's the same writer from Voyager.
Oh yes. So
And
you got your brother still working with you on this one. So the same team, yeah?
no, it's not the same team. I'm not doing the interior art on Nathaniel Fox.
Just the cover?
Just the cover, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm with you now.
But I love the artist and on the interiors and the writing of Santulo. So this is already published in Argentina, so they didn't have an English version. So I thought we should do it, and I'm about to launch it soon. I don't have a proper date, but maybe next month.
Roberto Viacava. Argentina, you say? Argentina, a faraway land beyond a distant horizon. Tell us more. Does Argentina have any comic artists, perhaps? Or maybe they have an indie comic audience in Argentina? Tell us more, Roberto. You're so cosmopolitan.
Yeah, well, I'm from Argentina, and we have a
What?
comic. We have a comic culture there. You used to have an industry, but it's like now it's almost all indie comics. There is no main publisher, and yeah, I think that there is an audience, but it's still small. But I think it's growing every day. Ahoy, all you sagacious scalawags.
You see, you can actually pronounce that. But you do realize, folks out there, as we
I don't know what it means, but I can read it.
well, we you know, as guys, when we get together, we can be a little bit naughty. We're not really naughty, but we can be a little bit like a bunch of pirates, I suppose, having fun aboard a kind of pirate ship. You know, we get to joust and jest and have a wee bit of fun. And
Aye, aye.
we would, aye, Captain, that's it. And Tank Ferret is Tank Passionate Ferret. He's wears his heart on his sleeve. He makes his son for his birthday a few days ago, his 15-year-old son, a nice birthday B-day meal. And I hope you had a great birthday together as father and son. Ah, father and son, that reminds me of a quote. Join me to rule the galaxy as father and son. Sorry, just kind of got sent away to a special place there for a moment. We won't put up your other comment, Tank, but we can assure you we didn't want to disintegrate you. So hopefully we will never have to go there. But no, we like Tank very, very much. He's you should see his Achilles artwork for his refined, elegant, Spartan soldier. I'm just looking at it now in our right there in our forehead for our memory. It's one of the things we can remember. We can't remember our name, but we can remember his artwork. Just got a visual memory. As an artist, we've got a visual memory, haven't we? Because sometimes we forget important things like names. I'm sorry, we've forgotten our name. Right. So yes, we'll have to DM you his. Hey Tank, if you DM us your artwork for that Spartan Achilles warrior, we'll send it to Roberto. How about that? Deal? What do you think?
You're asking me? Or?
No, yeah, no. He's got the artwork. Wait, we have names. Well, I don't know. I've forgotten ours. Actually, another thing might explain Azrael very well. Azrael isn't actually first language English. It's actually first language Azrael and second language English. That would explain things. We forget names, dates, places, and we occasionally say the wrong kind of words when we mean other words. So if we ever if you ever receive a message from us and it uses the wrong word, we'll just say sorry now forever because, it's just a guy thing, gentlemen. Plus, Azrael is pretty strange as well,
Yeah, I might be the same planet as Azrael.
Same, there you go. Roberto's on the same planet as Azrael. Here we go. We've got a deal. Tank Heart and Sleeve Ferret is going to send us that Greek Achilles finessed elegance with its shoulder into the spear, and we will pass it on to Roberto Viacava. We think that is a great thing to do. Hey, he gets to see a bit of art love, and you get to have a bit of spreading the love. And we'll probably stop that sentence there, we think. Let's move on. All right, then. So, yes, here we go. This is why Roberto's here. We're going shoulder to shoulder with Roberto to support him at this time in his life. And we'd have had him on the show anyway, because we're borderline obsessed about his comic and his work. And we won't say him because you might think, hang on, what's Azrael saying here? So anyway, let's start talking about the cover. This cover is absolutely drop dead, looking into the camera. Gorgeous. You know, it's almost like it's got obsidian eyes staring back at you. You know, it's a very, very pretty cover, full of finesse, elegance. When was Azrael? It transports him back in time. This cover is timeless. It's got everything we need. It's almost like a noir montage, black and white movie. It feeds Azrael's noir heart. If that was in black and white, we'd be all over it like a rash. We're still over it like a rash. We've got a deal. We'll have to put the deal down now for now, Tank.
You just give me an idea for the extra covers on Kickstarter. Maybe I should put some black and white versions.
Right back at you. Nicholas Mueller is doing a comic called Popeye. Now, we know Popeye, but the copyright has lapsed because they can only last maybe 70, 75 years, and they go into public domain.
Yes.
The public domain of Popeye, we'll link it to you, and we backed him. Was it today or last night? I think it was today we backed him, yeah? $3.50 it was from the $5 to the UK pounds. Basically, the black and white version is $8. We almost went weak at the knees for it and got it, but we went for the one that's half as much, the color version. But I'll tell you what, a lot of comic creators now, indie comic creators, are doing black and white versions. Matt Garvey, if you've never heard of him, is UK Brit royalty. He's been doing indie comics for 15 years. And his latest comic called I Took a Hammer to Hell. And we actually did an interview with him, and we went straight to hell with him. We gaffer taped a hammer to our hand. We thought, we're following Matt Garvey straight to hell. Great book. He's on his 4th issue. So you're in that class of creators who are in 3 to 4 issues, a wave of new indie comic creators leading the charge at the wild frontier of indie comics. And he's done a black and white version of I Took a Hammer to Hell, and it looks gorgeous. The Nicholas Mueller Popeye one in noir, absolutely gorgeous. We think it's becoming boutique, niche, almost like boutique upsell. It's almost like a black and white version now is becoming VIP cover territory, almost like a renaissance going back to black and white classic movie storytelling values like noir. So we would recommend you could actually pop out for your next campaign for issue 4, because you'll have 4 next, you'll have 4 noir variants, and just, put that high contrast in to get that lovely black, grey and white tones. Just an idea, just saying, something for you to think about. And that's what we think about. That's what we try and do in this show. We don't tell creators what to do. They can make up their own mind. But now again, if we get some crazy ideas, we'll just put them out there. And if they take it, our ideas are free of charge. We do not charge commission, folks.
Yeah, the thing with these covers is that the black and white, it's just pencil, because when I do the colors, so I only draw and everything else is just colors. There is no ink. So if I do a black and white version, maybe I should do a grayscale version of this one, but only the pencils, I think
Roberto,
I will be scamming people with
you could go into Photoshop or whatever your image app is. We'll be within a moment. I'll just put a comment into Tank will put your comment up in Mo, because we think you're bringing insight to the chat in terms of cosmopolitan, different markets, and stuff like that, and we think you've got a good idea. But this cover here, if it was us, we go straight to Photoshop and just hit the contrast, see what it looks like that. Then if you think it needs more bite, by all means do the an ink version. You could even do a pencil. If you've got the original pencils for this, do a special pencil cut version as well. Because your pencils, I think somebody looking at pencils think, well, we can't say it's a family-friendly show what they think, but we think they'd like them because we do. We've seen your pencils and they're, well, tell you what, makes us think inappropriate thoughts. Right, here we go. The tank is, you know what I'm saying? But Argentina is a country I've been looking at expanding into doing manufacturing and distribution. Now, hey, we think Argentina is an exotic faraway land on distant beyond the horizon and has a great many things. It's been looking at expanding it into doing manufacturing and distribution, not a country to be underestimated. Correct. We would not underestimate such a place. Exotic and far away, and some say fair. Chainsaw economics are good for small businesses. Absolutely. Get your 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 steps and just get chainsaw going. You know, like when you're playing a kind of a multiplayer mode game or a PlayStation game and you've got your 5 buttons that you press, and all you do is keep pressing the same old buttons to mash them to take down the bad guy. But we're absolutely terrible at games at the minute. We've forgotten how to play them. But back in the day, we weren't so bad. So yes, we would say explore markets to explore. Here we go. Argentina, not to be underestimated. America, of course, is the big one. Bigger than America, though, by an order of magnitude, probably 10 to 1, is the manga market. Could you possibly do a manga variation of Voyager? Now that'd be a challenge, but one you'd hammer it. And think about 5 to 10 times, 1,000% more income, because you are showing understanding to Japanese culture with respect, we say. And so they'll, hey, he's speaking our language, our visual language, because manga is everywhere. It's actually in everything in the culture. It's steeped in everything, yeah? And they'll think, Roberto respects us. So they'll give you the business. They even have amateur conventions over there, which are even bigger than the professional American conventions. It is a gigantic market, yeah, to consider. France, big into manga, but they're into hardcovers. And even the libraries, they have a whole library full of indie comics. It's not like the graphic novel niche little bits you get in Britain where you get maybe a shelf, actually 5 shelves, actually. It's improving in Britain. And because indie comics are exploding, yeah? The graphic novels are exploding. Comics are like almost a kind of fashionable, you know, in pop culture now. It's almost, everybody's got to have a comic that fits the indie comic market down to a tree. Everybody wants to do a comic now because you don't need the big two, or the not so big two anymore. You don't need the corporations anymore. We've got the technology. We've got things like Manga Studio. We've got all the stuff we need. We've got Amazon, the biggest comic shop in the world, with access to what, 4 billion people on the internet. It's all there, folks. How badly do you want it? Azrael, how badly do you want it? More than you can possibly imagine. So yes, Tank, I tell you what, you are learned, brother, and you have experience and cosmopolitan insight. Fair play, so Tank. Right then, here we go. We've got another one for him. We might as well, is it? By my very nature, all my ideas are crazy. Join the club. Celtic brother here. We are Scots, British, Irish, and I tell you what, can't help it. It's that mix of blood. It makes us strange and exotic and very enigmatic. Even Azrael does not know himself or his own mind, and occasionally forgets his name or says the wrong word. Right, moving on here. Color covers always. Oh, we know, but I tell you what, you know, when you get that noir version of Voyager, I'm just going to say, okay, Roberto, you see that devil's contract there? We'll sign it right here in blood, but with a long silver spoon just to keep our distance from him. Right, moving on. Tank, we'll put your comment up. We did. And this one here, even if it's just the title or a splash of color, absolutely. That is another area. You could do a noir color spot variant where it's black and white in the background, but you spot weld the color. You have a spot color. It could be orange, it could be red, it could be green, whatever your theme is. We call it color narrative. Yeah. And yes. It's you know, every story, every indie creator has their own color narrative. For example, we had somebody called Roberto Rodriguez on the show a couple of shows ago, and he does his own film style grading on the comic. So he gets the raw colors down, you know, like an oil painting, But like the old masters, he'll put a glaze over it. Now, we don't call it a glaze these days in apps like Manga Studio. What we call it is color grading. Now, in all the commercials on TV at the moment and the new Superman movie, can anybody explain to me the conspiracy behind everything being teal and everything being mustard across the board in the Western classical civilization? They explain that, but we're not getting it in Voyager. We're getting something civilized and unique. And every unique creator sees the color of his cosmology and universe in his own unique way. Give me that color. I don't want mustard and teal because it's there for a reason, which is obscure. There's nothing obscure about that. That is beautiful coloring. It is mythology in color. Oh, Azrael, he's so flowery.
Actually, let me tell you a secret about this cover. This has a layer that has a photograph of a kaleidoscope. That those things that you look and there is like pieces of glasses that different colors and they move around and make different forms. If you look at it, you will see that there is like shapes of color all around, and that's I did that to accentuate this thing that the previous Voyagers are from all around the world and all different colors.
Tank, we've got a question for you because we can't remember what it's called. What do you call those things where when you look at them, they've got depth, and it's almost like when you look at them from different angles, they move slightly and have depth? What are they called? We saw one of Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea how are they called.
We saw Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like in a picture frame, but with a bit of depth or a recess. And we were in the store. We won't advertise corporations in this show. We never mention the name, but Tank will probably know. And you're right. Color is better for advertising because it's still a bigger market. You wouldn't go in to a indie comic audience with just black and white. It'd be suicide. And all covers are the advertising for the book. Absolutely. It's called trade dress. So maybe if it's Spider-Man, it's red and blue, isn't it? If it's the Hulk, it's green and purple, isn't it? Etc. Etc. Yeah. So thinking about the color narrative of your book, it's in our business plan. We've got 9 business plans. We actually have a color narrative for our thinking. And Roberto, got to give him a plug actually. Roberto Rodriguez has color grading. He has 2 books out: Faint, which we're backed. We're on Sign for White Owl or White Owl. Got to do the Batman voice, folks. Bit of Ketonian, yeah. And sorry, ladies, tonight we haven't got the Ketonian bat shirt on. We were caught for time, so we kind of got our rough and ready. We don't want to say bad boy look, but because we're actually quite modest and shy. We are, quite a quiet boy, but we've even got the old not strange hat. We'll just call this hat the guiding star. So yes, what we've got here, stereograph, something like that. Yes, it's like a stereograph. So basically, it has depth, and you can actually, when you look at it from side to side, it actually tilts from side to side as well. Even though it's a still image, I think it's almost like a kind of holographic effect. Yeah, we can see side to side. It's not. I don't think it is a stereograph. It's something else. Gosh dang! I tell you what, if you look this one up. We know there's a version of it for the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. If you find out what it is, we'll put your comment up. How about that for a deal? Right then, let's move on. So yes, that cover is probably one of the best covers ever in indie comics. Just saying, that could be on a hardback edition. Have you thought about doing a hardback edition, Roberto, for the trade paperback when it comes, when you've got to issue 4? Hardback?
Yeah, we are on the middle of the series, so it's 3 more issues. But yeah, I don't know if I guess I will do a new cover, but I will include all the covers in the paperback.
Right then, here we go. Moving on. Right then, believe it or not, folks, we have done the 5 Pillars of Storytelling Recognition Awards for 2024. We're about 50 of the way through, but they're actually 150, so they do take a lot of time to put up. And then you've got to make a video promo. We put them on X and we put them on YouTube as a promo. So like a slideshow, you can see through. It's like a kind of promo for the books, but also these are high quality books we believe in or have backed ourselves personally. Yeah. So we don't sound arrogant and say they must be good, but what we're saying is, in all modesty, check them out. Yeah. Our word isn't immutable. Our word isn't law. So let's go through. It's like a laid acetate image. Yes, Tank. It's like a laid acetate image, but it's called something. I'll tell you what. I just wonder if
It's like the parallax effect or something like that.
Yes. So anyway, let's go into this. 5 awards Voyager bagged. The 5 Pillars of Storytelling, Art, Comics, Movies, Games and Toys Award, Certificate of Recognition for Santullo and Viacava, Passion Project, and it is a Passion Project, Voyager 3 Award 2024. Next. He wouldn't have mentioned it, but we're going to. The 5 Pillars of Storytelling, Art, Comics, Movies, Games and Toys, Certificate of Recognition for Roberto Viacava, Cover Art, Voyager 3, Our Stunner that we've just seen, Award 2024. 2, let's go for 3. We've got the 5 Pillars of Storytelling, Art, Comics, Movies, Games, Toys, Certificate of Recognition for Roberto Viacava, Interior Art. Yes, the interior art is sensational, timeless, classical art, yeah? Roberto Viacava, Interior Art, Voyager 3, Award 2024. Can we do another one? We think we can. The 5 Pillars of Storytelling, Art, Comics, Movies, Games, and Toys, Certificate of Recognition. Robert Viacava, back cover design for Voyager 3, Award 2024. Steve Jobs said that the back of his projects for Apple were just as important as the front. What does it tell you? Attention to detail, passion, caring for the love of the whole project holistically, yeah? Every single detail from the editorial to the back cover to the front cover and everything in between is oozes class. Gotta check it out. If you don't know about this indie comic, trust us, back it, get it. Just saying.
I have to thank Victor Farro there, because he gave me the idea to put the pictures of the authors on the back cover. And the I should explain. The back cover has like a main image on the top, and there is a description of the book, and then there is the authors, and the main image on the top. It's like a way of remembering the Kickstarter campaign, because it's the same image.
So it's tying it in, that consistency of the trade dress. So everything is consistent from the cover to your Kickstarter campaign, your interior editorial cover, the back cover. It's almost seamless. It's like a thread of it's like a golden thread in the tapestry of your trade dress. Trade dress cannot be underestimated. All the best indie comics have consistent. Some logos for indie comics are absolutely works of art in their own right, So, yes, this one, we've got to give this one a bit of a shout out. The 5 Pillars of Storytelling, Art, Comics, Movies, Games, and Toys Awards. Thank you very much, Tank, for putting the trophies up. Certificate of Recognition is Rodolfo Santullo, the writer of Voyager, Issue 3, Award 2024. Catch that, folks. Is that 5 awards? Let's see if we've got any more. I think that's it. The big 5 questions. We're going down and giving it some baritone love. So let's do this. Right then, who is Roberto Viacava? Your storytelling influences, your comic journey, where you started, what's your favorite movie? And if your indie comic was a rock band or a pop band, and inside your head when you're doing your business plan, when you're doing your drawing, which band would you be? It's like for us, it would be Queen. Block vocals, foot stomping, playing a bit of guitar, do some Roger Taylor drumming. Tell us about who is Roberto Viacava. Now we're listening.
Okay, I have to remember all the questions, but I'll start with the last one about the band. I like that question because it's like the Rorschach test. It's like it's a free association. I'll tell you what band I feel like more connected to, but I don't know if I would be that band because I don't play any instrument. I'm really bad at music, but there is a band called Electric Six.
Oh yeah, go on.
And it's kind of fast pacing, and like the lyrics are sometimes hilarious and don't make much sense, but I like that band. So you can go look it up, listen to it, and make your own conclusions about what the hell that has to do with me.
Tell you what, Roberto, what we'd like you to do is DM us. Yeah, private chatters, when we get back on X later, we'll thank you for the chat, of course, for your time. But DM us your favourite track of that band, please. How about that? Deal?
Yeah, sure.
Right then, here we go.
Do you want me to do it now?
Go on, go for it. Well, here we go. Guys actually living in the moment, doing action. You see, ladies out there, us guys aren't just talk with your silver fox, silvery tongue. We can be solid gold sometimes, at least 8% of the time. You know what we like to do? We call this special technology. What is that special technology we have? Do it now. No, we call it now technology. That's our favorite phrase. Now technology. Right. Do you see? Roberto's now looking up his rock band business plan, what he's playing when he's doing his comic, when he's marketing the whole. There's actually Lady Death. There is it Brian Toledo of Lady Death? It was his advice, during the lockdown, the darkness wars as we call it. We caught his advice on YouTube, and he says here at Chaos Comics, Lady Death, we think, one of the tips he gave says we visualize. It wasn't Metallica, but it's like a heavy metal band. This is who we are when we're going in, when we're creating a comics, when we're putting a great product out there, when we're making some great noise. We think we're visualized, we're this band, and we're trying to conquer the world. Bit mega Olympian like Freddie Mercury and Queen, bit of Brian May guitar. It's like, which band are you? It's almost like manifestation, sticking your chest out, putting your shoulders back, confidence. And you don't have to be loud with it. You don't have to be brash with it. You can be shy, guy. You can be quietly confident. Yeah. You don't have to be an absolute monster at it. Most of the creators we've had on the show are quiet, self-confident, quietly confident, 80% nice guys. Certifiable fact. Yeah, they do exist. Some might even say that we're nice. We don't say it. We won't say it. No, not looking like this. This is our rough look. We can't be nice if we look like this. So, hey, wait a minute. We've got a comment, I think, from Tank. He says, get a beautiful pin-up of your lady female character. We're coming to this, Tank, but a clever idea from fellow Argentinian Pablo Romero. He's great dude, amazing artist with true 80s flair. It might cost you a bit more money. Get him, Roberto, yeah? Yeah?
Yes. I know a Pablo Romero. He studied with me for a while.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I think maybe that's a common name, but I think it's the same guy. I don't know how many Pablo Romeros draw comics.
So he could do you a cover variant, and what Tank's saying is with your female lead, and bring in some, it's the kind of hot lady kind of cover variant. That's a thing in indie comics. Hey, folks, we've got to make money, yeah?
I know him, yes.
Did somebody say hot ladies? That was you, Azrael. You said hot ladies. Sorry, our mind has drifted off to yonder horizon. Anyway.
Okay, I'm
just saying. Have you sent that link to us with the band?
Yes, I put it in the chat, in the private chat between us, but I'm going to put it on the YouTube chat now.
Okay. Cheers, Tank. You're rocking the chat. Here's what we call a creative leader, Tank is. And another thing he says here is that pinup will be printing money. So what he's saying is that cover variant, yes, from your fellow Argentinian, Pablo Romero, will print money. Yeah. I mean, you're a great artist, but one day you'll be a lot more popular than you are now. If anything to say about it, we have. Right then. You are a friendly neighborhood force multiplier, Tank. We've got to give you that. I tell you what, you're going to be one of our chat generals. There you go. When we get moderators in the future, people like Crenshaw, Tank could be most valuable allies as we bring order to the galaxy. Yes. So what we got here. Not an X. Curious what Electric Six song you sent Azrael. Can you just repeat the Electric Six song is that you sent me?
I put it on the chat on the YouTube on the stream. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't worry. What we'll do, Bear Marchant, when Roberto sends us in our DMs on X later, what we'll do is we'll drop the link on the next show. How about that into the chat? How does that sound? Good. Yeah, you'll get it one way or another. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. We've got a shed load to get through because Roberto is a day-to-day, do-it-now working artist. He's a professional, yeah? So we know who Roberto Viacava is. What were your storytelling influences? Then were you influenced by like things like The Shadow and Doc Savage and stuff like that?
I
One
well,
main comic or book? Was it a movie that really thought that's made me the artist and creator we are today?
well, my main influence is my dad. It's he was um um sorry, I'm going to say it in Spanish, so maybe that remind me how to say it in English. But
Oh,
Bellas Artes. It's well, he studied painting in school, so he was a teacher of art. And once, when I was young, he drew with a ball pen. He drew a
oh,
scene.
big pen, ballpoint pens. Oh,
Yeah,
I love that.
he drew a scene with like a caveman fighting a dinosaur, and he
Yeah.
made all the texture of the skin, the scales of the dinosaur, and I just loved it. The caveman was with the spear, and I thought that was pure joy and storytelling, and I have to do this. And I started copying that drawing, and I think I never stopped. I think I was drawing before, but that's where I said, okay, I have to tell stories like this. It's just one panel, and
It
I
was like,
started drawing. Yeah,
that
that blew
moment,
my
yeah.
mind. Yeah,
Rocket moments, yeah.
yeah. And then
Go on.
there is a lot of movies that influenced me, and comics. We had in Argentina, and we had an industry of comics. There was a publishing house that was called Columba.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, the industry was going down, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that the last
All the look. Go on.
I saw the last things of that industry. And in Columba, there was a lot of stories and really good artists. For example, do you know Jorge Safino? He started there, and I studied too with another artist called Juan Zanotto. He was an Italian that immigrated to Argentina. He was a great storyteller. Uh, his comics were the science fiction comics. You have to look it up. It's great. Were like a little movies.
That's another one to send us in the DMs. That sounds too
Yeah,
good. Italy was known historically as the home of art, the Renaissance, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, interesting. How did you find work as someone in Argentina? You're in somewhere else now, yeah, and working alongside somebody from Italy. Was it a challenge for you? Argentina's not to be underestimated. You got artists from Italy. Was there a bit of rivalry there? Was there a bit of jostling there? A bit of friendly rivalry?
Sorry, I was writing the name on the chat and didn't get the first part of the question.
Yeah, basically. Oh, yes. Oh, you're right. Tell you what, got to put that up, folks. Juan Zanotto. Have we pronounced that right?
Juan? Yeah, Juan.
Juan Zanotto.
Yeah,
Zanotto.
The J for us is like your H.
Got it. Juan Zanotto. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find him as an Italian artist? What did you think? Hang on a minute, he's pretty good. We've got to up our game. Was there a bit of rivalry?
Oh no, Juan Zanotto was much older than me. He was my teacher when I decided to start.
Like a mentor.
Yeah, totally. Yes. Yeah, he was a great teacher. And he I think the first time that I met him, I was like 18 years old, and I went to the publishing house and I met him. He was the art director of the company, and I showed him my portfolio that time, and he told me, well, you have to study this, anatomy, perspective, and everything. So I went with a smile from year to year. I'm going, I have to work on this. I have a chance.
I tell you what, so interesting that he gave you advice, looked at what you were good at, but he didn't put the boot into you or make you feel bad. He actually was supportive, said, look, you're promising, but you just need to work on this, and this just a little bit more, the areas.
Yes. Totally,
So
yes.
it was positive and supportive. It's easy to criticize, folks. It is. It's, you know, guys will actually do 9 things out of 10 correct, but that one thing, don't punish them for it. You know, to be positive. And us guys, we would say we've got the raw materials to work with. You know, maybe a lady in your life will just think, I can work with that. Just shape and mold them a bit, knock off a few rough edges. Especially today, we normally have a bath, but we did manage to brush our teeth, floss, and do the mouthwash. Even though we're not next door to him, it's just, you know, you kind of that you don't have bad breath when you interview. Azrael, we don't need to know that. It's just you've been crazy now. Let's move swiftly on. Right then, what does Roberto Viacava create? What's your elevator pitch? Azrael teleports to Argentina then. Would you go there, Azrael? Might do, in a blink of an eye, if so summoned. Now, what does Roberto Viacava... I'm going to go to your convention table. I want to buy an indie comic. I'll look at yours and think, oh, that's interesting. What are you going to tell me to sell it? What's Voyager all about?
It's a classical story of the hero's journey. He's the protagonist of this story. It's an everyday man. It's called Gus Benes, and he's transported to a new scenario, a new land where he doesn't know anything, and he to survive he has to learn how to be a hero, to stand for himself, and he will have to confront a lot of challenges if he wants to go back to his previous life. And you have in this new world, it's like a Greek style, like, and there is like Spartan soldiers, but the twist is that there is a lot of monsters, 6-legged monsters that wants to destroy the city where the people of this land live. And it's super fun, and there is great art, if I may say so. And
super fun. I tell you what, listen, Roberto is confident in his abilities. You know, he's not cocky about it. He knows. He's got quiet confidence in his ability because he's been rocking commercial art now. You see it from his illustration, from his fine art, learned from mentors, probably masters in their own right, who've helped build him up. He's built himself up over the years by doing the graft day in, day out. And we say, if you wield your blade in battle, day in, day out, working long hours, including your weekends, you have our support, undying, eternal support, and our respect. You are doing so well.
Thank you very much.
No problem, sir. And it sometimes be said, whoa, look who we've got. Hello at work, have a minute. John, building America, building indie comics. You know that's a good catchy phrase, John. We want that picture of you holding, all your workmates holding up your indie comics, Heroic Tales 1 and Heroic Tales 2. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah, send us those voice things introducing your comics cupboard, a voiceover for your trading cards. We'll do the rest. Just send us. You've got our email, you've got our DMs. Send us the raw materials. We'll put up for you. Why? Because you're one of the paternal pillars of the indie comics community. We even gave John Boer a 5 pillars of storytelling recognition for his work in the community. We remember when he was trying to get up to 800, and we gave him our follower boost to help him and spread the word a bit. But then he zoomed up to 1,000. He's had Jim Shooter on his show. He's had Eric July. We featured Isom on the show with probably the best Isom cover yet by the one and only Roberto Viacava, yeah? And also, John Zlombox with the Renzo Rodriguez with artwork that shines like the sun. Basically, they're on the 2nd issue of the Heroic Tales anthology, and we're really looking forward to perhaps a Patriarch spin-off. And you just got to go to Jean Boer Lombox on YouTube. He's got an X, which is it Zootag? I can never remember the name of that, but it's John Boer, John's Lombox on X as well. You'll find him if you want to see him. And his podcast, when we're having a bath, who do we listen to? John Boer. We're not joking on that one, by the way. We're entirely serious. Azrael, do you actually have a bath? Oh, come on, gentlemen. Come on, ladies. And when we get out of it, you know what music we're playing in our head? Princes of the Universe, majestic stride, as we get out the bath, full of shy, modest, quiet confidence. Anyway, let's move on. So John's building New York and he's building indie comics, and we think he's great. So what we've got here looks brilliant. I can't spell brilliant at the minute. John's Lombard in the house. That was the worst spelling of brilliant ever. I tell you what, we're gonna have to try that again. We're a disgrace. We can't spell Arvid's name. We called him Arin. I think X was slow and buggy at the weekend, and we think it's infected our fingers. X was a train wreck. It was fuselage dumpster territory. I mean, one flame would have blown the whole thing up. You know, I think it just infected our touch typing. We can spell. Honestly, we can, folks. Yes, John's Lombard's in the house. He's got a minute from work. Thanks, Tank. So yeah, we've got to say welcome to. We can spell brilliant. Just want to say we're not. That's not happening live. We're going to sort that out right now. Brilliant. Can you spell brilliant? There, we've got it. Let's going to put it up right now. Just checking. Brilliant. Yeah, that is brilliant. Right, here we go. Let's move on. So yeah, it's the other thing we've got to do. We've got to say welcome to the. We always like to type in a bit. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, John. Booah, that's more like it. Booah Shaka John. Right, let's move swiftly on. So basically, Santillo and Viacava, or Viacava and Santillo, are creating a classical Greek timeless story with a bit of a twist with six-legged thingies. And we're going to look at that next. Here's the cover without that bit of takedown, because when we do our titles, we sometimes dip the opacity. Look at that, folks. Our favorite thing about this, broken statues. The white van man in the sand. And just look at that color depth again. Gil Kane. Foreground. Middle ground. Background. Middle ground. And then background and background. Depth cued through desaturation as you go into the hazy horizon. Yeah. And look at that trade dress. Santullo. Voyager, Viacava, and they've got like a Dorian or classic column there in the actual O for the whole bit of the O. I mean, it's so cool. And you've got your little your business logo, important, folks, and the way it's banded together, unified with a slight wave strip of yellow. These colors are no accident. We tend to think warm, hot, Middle East colors, don't we? Here, yeah, you know. I mean, just like that, when we saw that cover, you know.
Yes, the logo actually was made by Victor Faro too. He's a great artist. If you don't know it, you should check it out too. He sent me a couple of ideas and we tweaked it a little bit, and I think it's fantastic. Because I think that the title just summarizes the story. You have the classical Greek background and the monsters on the R of the letters in the middle. It's like it symbolizes the you're breaking with their old reality and going to a new one. I think it summarizes pretty well, and I loved it. And the yellow stripe behind it, I put it because the first chapter is kind of the like Dorothy going from Kansas to the land of Oz, and
yes,
but then we lost the reference, and the stripe is no more there.
Yellow Brick Road.
Yes.
Right, yeah, very good.
Exactly.
Clever. Touche, Roberto. Good catch. Classical reference again. Classical movies, classical art, yeah? You see, folks? The classics from the magazine cover era, like the pulps, old movies, yeah? Old artists learning from the masters. We can draw upon these things without getting hammered for copyright. We don't need Team Red, Team Blue, and the indie comics, the big corporations. We don't need them. Let them go. We need us together, fighting side by side, shoulder to shoulder. You want it? Come and get it. You want good artists? He's right here, folks. You want a good comic? He's right here, folks. You want the best rock band you've never heard before they become famous? He's right here, folks. Yes? And yes, we'll get that track into next week's chat. We will, so we will. Right then, just look at that. Once we saw that, we think this is one of the best indie comic covers out there. This is one of maybe 2 or 3 indie comics that I've got a chance of breaking into Azrael's all-time top 5 indie comics. Now, Azrael, can you answer a straight question for once without speaking in riddles? On this occasion, we can. Our favourite all-time GOAT of indie comics is Gary Spencer Millers's Strangehaven, which even as we speak is on Patreon, getting the funding help he needs to what, sir? To actually finish his multi-decade epic. We've been with him, let's just call it a little while. And we remember meeting him at a hotel in Nottingham before he was Gary Spencer Millage. We should have bought 1 to 4 then and got them signed. But what we did, he was very nice. He gave us some advice on creating comics. He just got it out of his suitcase. Lovely guy to chat to. Another quiet, sweet, gentle, modest. You see, they're out there, folks, aren't they? And they usually work in the indie comics community. You know, artists, sensitive brothers at arms. You know, we can't help it if we come from Athens, but 1 or 2 of us are Spartans, like the brother down below. And yeah, Strangehaven is a bit like a cross between Emmerdale, if you're into your British soaps, Emmerdale and The Prisoner, Patrick McGowan, but it's really like Twin Peaks or the Hammer House of Horror Village that you cannot escape when you go down the misty slip road off the M1. Yeah. So we recommend. Oh, by the way, Nottingham has probably the best indie comic shop in the world.
What's the name?
Page45.com. Check it out. We'll send you the link. Best. Perfect. We were just doing our beer voice there, baritone beer voice. I'll tell you what, the guy who runs it, Stephen, is an authority. It has all the kind of non-superhero stuff at the front. It looks like a bookstore, like Waterstones or Borderlands. So what it does, it invites men and women. Gosh, a shop that can include men and women. Actually, a guy that can include women. Wasn't like that in the 80s or the 90s. Basically, you know, women used to get daggers looks when they came in the stores, like almost like, what's that? A beautiful creature, perhaps, but what they're doing here. Yes, we did say beautiful creature. He says, looking into the green light. We think all our special followers are beautiful creatures. And you know what they say? Some of them have been with the 5 Pillars of storytelling since the very beginning. And you know what they say? The longer the knowing, the deeper the cut. So anyway, let's move swiftly on. That cover. So Azrael, why have you lingered on this cover? Because it's one of the best covers ever. So Azrael, we know that Gary Spencer Millage, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is at number 1 by some margin, yeah? What's your other favourite in that top 5? Black Sun Comics by Kelvin Morosi and Canada. You see, the gods speak to us from the great nexus. You know, it's the great celestial stars. They sing and we hear the ringing in our ears. It must be meant to be. It is our destiny. So then, yes, Black Sun Comics has its own website. You got to go there. It's noir, African, futuristic fantasy. It's a cross between Star Wars and Game of Thrones. How does that grab you? Now we're going to
I want to see it.
What we're going to do now, Roberto, as we think about that, we're going to rub our soft, bristly chin. Our kind of, we call it our sensual beard. Azrael, remember, it's a family-friendly show. Don't worry, we're sailing close to the line, but we're not going to cross it. For us, cross the line. The very idea, says, batting his long black eyelashes. Azrael, Submunities, what is the matter with you today? We've been listening to too much Karen Carpenter. We think it's affected our brain. I think we can't spell, we can't think. Our brains turn to mush, and now and again we melt. So anyway, yes, that is our second favourite. Azrael, what's the rest of your top 5? There are no other books in the top 5. The Strangehaven and Black Sun Comics. There were 3 spaces under consideration. This is one of them. You serious? We're serious. It hasn't been filled in the best part of 10 years. We're still waiting. This guy, ain't no pretender. Let's tell you that. No pretender he. Real chance. Classical, timeless storytelling. Classical art. Timeless virtues of Western art. We commend him to the house. Right. Huzzah for line stepping. Oh, yes, Tank. Line stepping is our specialty, you know. Anyway, move swiftly on because we've got a shed load to get through. Well, now on slide 22, we've actually put the kitchen sink in with Roberto. We spent over an hour, 2 hours preparing this presentation for the governor. We've been waiting almost 2 years to get him on this show. Even before we had a show, we wanted him on the show. Right, the story. Movie voice time. Lock and load. Voyager. Gus Baines is in for the adventure that transcends time and space. Like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, a tornado whisks him away to a strange and distant land. There he will have to confront multiple dangers and discover if he measures up to the chosen one. Guys, always measuring their chins, huh? You know how it is. See if he measures up to the chosen one. Status the locals expect, unless it is all a product of his own imagination. We hope not. We hope it's not just a dream. Hopefully, it is real. It feels real. Anyway, Voyager presents an adventure story inspired by Greek myths and fantastic journeys. In the spirit of Mobius, Arzak, it is a hero's journey, like no other, we'd say, where our protagonist must first find himself. Must find it himself and conquer the darkness within in order to be more than he expected. Another guy with the raw materials there. Hopefully, we'll stop there. Let's continue. Likewise, fundamental figures. Let's try that again. Likewise, the two women that he will find on his way are two sides of the same coin. No, we're going to behave. We've got a thought, but we're not going to go there. Fundamental figures on his own path of discovery. I'll tell you what, Roberto, tell us about that story. Give us your own pitch. Let us have it. The story again, one more time for people coming in, watching the restream or watching it halfway through now.
Well, actually, we started this as like a romance, but we disguised it as an adventure, and then the romance is still there, but there's a triangle there, but it's more on the side right now. But we love adventure with Sanzulo, and we would like to show a lot of action and monsters and fighting, and if you like that, you will find something to cherish on our comic. So the story is about this guy that it's whisked away like with the tornado. That's the light tornado that you see on the cover. It's in this place. You will find out what's happening, but basically the tornadoes bring fighters to an ancient battle between the beast and the people of this place, and they bring with the tornado, they bring like saviors to this land, and he doesn't know if he can save the city or not. So that's why he will have to learn if he wants to survive to those beasts and this ancient battle, and if he wants to return home, he will have to endure a few challenges and grow up as a warrior.
Grow up as a warrior. For one day we must grow up and be that warrior. For Battle Maiden, perhaps. Two ladies, Azrael. We'd like to think of ourselves as a one lady kind of guy. Old gentleman, as we say. Maybe somebody who'll join us shoulder to shoulder in the darkness wars, battling side by side with Azrael's sword of light. Now then, less cryptic talk and riddles, Azrael. John Long weighing in live chat. Just take, he's made a chart entry at number 1. all-time chat record holder, our recent guest, J Long of The Heavyweight. Conspiratorial, swirling politics with nose-crunching action. It's The Heavyweight. He's in the chat. He's listening while he's at work, been listening while I work. Hello, everyone. Welcome, John Long. You have smashed it. You are 300% our average. You're 3 times larger than our average view for live chats. So he just blew past them. We don't know. And the chat for that show and our last show absolutely blew up, absolutely exploded. So he is a gold-blooded heavyweight. He's a boxer and a mixed martial arts nose specialist. You know, the old knee to the nose thing or an elbow to the, not the face. It's just read it. It's free to read. It had a 5 pillars of storytelling not best, but kind of web comic recognition award. We don't say best in our awards. It's the recognition. Yeah. It's not an all or nothing sum game with us. That each man and lady be paid in full. Yeah. So basically, we had to read it every time he posted in our Indie Comics promo. We run them Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, folks. They usually get posted Greenwich, London mean time at 4 p.m. Azrael, you don't live in London, do you? We're in the London time zone, but we don't live in London. We're held in the Kingdom of the Midlands without doxing ourselves. And we hear Nottingham isn't so bad. Good for visiting, we hear. Very cosmopolitan too, is that city. For cosmopolitan people, we would think. Good for a day out. Yeah, so many things to see and do. And the best comic shop in the world, which we'll link you in DM in your X account. So yes, Jay Long, we're going to back his book. We're going to back it later after the show, and I'm going to get one of the t-shirts. We're going to put it on, yeah, and wear it and do some free advertising for him. Might pick up extra people. He's got his own website. He's on about 4 or 5 multimedia, and he's actually we've recommended him our personal business mentor. Sarah Grocott, who was on the show in the chat on Sunday, and absolutely 5-star performer. If you want to know how to just push your business, think outside the box, because the biggest audience for indie comics isn't indie comics or the corporations of comics. It's outside. Let's say they're 1%. With 4 billion people on the planet, most of your audience is actually outside of indie comics. So let's wrap our brains. Everybody can have their own business plan. Nobody's telling you what to do, but let's get our brains out of the box. Let's think out of the box and make $1 million. Azrael, are you aiming for $1 million in your business plan? We won't answer that question. We're just going to be coy as we always are and speak in riddles and circles. So yeah, Jay Long, great to put your comments up. We're going to get a heavyweight paper, actual paper, and get them sent to us. We're not going digital this time. If you want the digital, it's on the web comic. And every time he came to Indie Comic promos, we had to go back and read another chapter. Then we got to 6, there was a slight pause, and then the 7th chapter dropped, and then we're like a man in the desert. Our tongue was hanging out. We had to read chapter 7, and I tell you what, it's just got something about it. It spirals with intrigue. A gold-blooded boxer. They bleed gold. What's going off? It looks normal, but it's not normal. A bit like Roberto's Voyager comic. Looks normal, but then hang on a minute. We've got 6-legged lizards. We're coming to the 6-legged lizards, folks. Right, let's press on. Right then, interior art. Tell us, please.
Well, I started this is the first comic I draw and paint myself. So you will notice that the first pages are much more painterly, and then I synthesize a little bit more to catch up with time and do it faster. But it works too because this more painterly stuff is before he travels with the tornado. So then it turns up a little bit more simplified style, and I will keep it that way until if he comes back to our world, and I will do it painterly again.
Do you know what? We think that looks gorgeous. It was actually that style that hooked us. We couldn't put a finger on it. It just looked timeless, and it's the almost drifting quality to it. It's almost like a movie. It just has a It could be Hitchcock. There's no
Yeah.
speech, there's no speech balloons on that. It's
Nope.
Hitchcock. Hitchcock would say, and we're a disciple of Hitchcock, Hitchcock would say, words are just for atmosphere.
I was thinking about that, and I this is my thought. You let me know what you think. But the art has to tell the who, what, and where, and the script should specify the why, maybe, but not even so, because you can let the audience wonder what's the why about the actions and everything you're watching. But if you can understand the who, what, and where in the drawing, I think I did a good job.
I think you did a good job. Tank Ferret in the chat says, nice sequential art, nice comic art. We agree. Nice indie comic art. Yeah, we agree. Let's move on to the next one. We're covering 4 pages of each of the books just to give people a flavour. Then hopefully they'll go away and give you some money and back your work. Just a taste of each one. If it was us, we'd buy all 3 books straight away if we hadn't already got them. And I tell you what, one day we'll get the paper comic versions. If you put 3 paper comic versions to one side, well, or even 4 when you get around to doing 4 Voyage here, because he's got 6 planned, folks, and then you'll probably do a trade with the 4th issue, or maybe you'll wait until you do all 6.
The 6, yeah.
We'll buy the trade as well.
Yeah, I think it doesn't make much sense to make 4 and then 2 more. I'll wait to have the 6 done.
Tell us about this one. It's just another one of those, this kind of, we were there. We were the tornado. We were like, yes. He's got a lady, he's got a gentleman, and a tornado. What more does he need?
Yeah, yeah. I think you can see the impending doom. Nowhere to run. There's nothing to.
Oh, there's nowhere to run. I think we think Azrael's in deep trouble.
Yeah, I wanted to show that there are in a place where you cannot hide anywhere. So you're doomed there.
I'm just enjoying the artwork. It's just, you only need a few speech bubbles and we're hooked. You know how Corporation Comics, Team Red, Team Blue, they fill it with lots of balloons and lots of no,
yeah.
Just the moment. Simply being. You can be quiet in the moment, can't you? And just look into the character's eyes. Just saying. Right, let's move on. Whoa, is this a Wizard of Oz kind of reference? No.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. And I was saying before that the who, what, and where, and now I'm thinking about one very important thing. It's about the emotion, the feeling, and I think that's a combination of the writing, the art, and the audience, the reader. Because you have to connect what is happening on the page with the art and the balloons to feel something. So I think that's what, if you connect with that, that's what makes the storytelling and the art worthwhile. Because if it's just something that you don't feel anything, it's empty.
There you go, folks. It's all about emotions and feelings. And Tank Ferret, again, he's just leading the line. That's what we like, creative leaders, you know? Very good visual storytelling. This is almost Hitchcock, folks. You know, it's showing rather than telling. You get the data dump in the latest Hollywood movies, 20 minutes of, yeah, we get it, folks. Just show us. You know, we've got brains. We're intelligent people. Some of us have great intelligence and are curious as well. And some of us are just plain strange. Sorry, you got to be honest with yourself, man. You got to be honest, man. It is what it is. Let's move on. Look at this. This one absolutely hit us like an ancient Greek stone brick. Roberto, tell us, please.
What do you want to know about this? It's the first encounter with this place, and I wanted to show that it's like ancient Greece, and it's devastated somehow. And I don't know, I like ruins. I like to see like ancient civilizations, the remains, and like try to wonder how they lived and how this wonderful all was a time before, and how they managed to leave behind all this greatness. And I think that I don't know. I've seen those like in the Planet of the Apes, the statue of Liberty on the sand on the beach, and I think that's a great image. So I try to. I think that's in. I don't know. It's in my brain somehow, and I try to do that, like to make a big impression of an ancient civilization. That's it.
You said the word cherish earlier, Roberto Viacava. And cherish is a good word, you know? Cherishing somebody's support and valuing that in return with gratitude. Grace and gratitude are very important to us in all creative leaders. Grace is the defining, even if somebody kicks Azrael's, let's say this carefully, AZ, as, then we don't mind that. It's good to express our emotions if we're having a bad day. Not a problem, as long as it's done gracefully. You know what I mean? And what we like in indie comics is those people with gratitude and grace. They'll say thank you. We have a special folder full of comments, you know, and people like you who have gratitude and grace, all the special comments. You know, when we do our promo work, people say thank you. We think they're good people. Those are the people we're more likely to back. It's not a guarantee, but more if we connect with their work, if we connect with the power of their work, we could rule the galaxy side by side, shoulder to shoulder in the great darkness wars, wielding swords of valor. So the pacing, Tank Ferret says, is on point. We agree with him. It is just Hitchcock style pacing. We love it. A silent movie for sure. No bother. Now, this is the last bit of the preview we're doing for issue 1, Voyager 1. Again, is this the kind of Charlton Heston statue thing again, Planet of the Apes? It looks brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Is this Dorothy's shack? Don't tell us. Just maybe a portal. We don't know. We haven't. Let's pretend we haven't read it. Yeah, we have no idea. We're just an alien that's been dropped in from Mars. We hear, a bit like Dr. Manhattan. Yes. I mean, let's just look at it and then we'll move on to the next one. Just what can you see when you see something that exotic and hot? You just want to step into that portal and off you go. Just saying. Let's move on. Azrael, you've been very... Are you all right? We're going to confess this. Oh, Azrael, you're not going to do that live on stream, right? No, nothing like that. Ladies, behave yourself. And gentlemen, you behave yourself too, because we get a bad rap if gentlemen don't behave themselves. Us nice, quiet guys, the quiet 80% of people out there. And we would say, what? So let's press on. Tell us about this cover. It's very different in look to issue 1. Why the change in color tone? It's like this, the desert at night kind of thing.
Yes, they have their first, not the first, but the first big encounter with those creatures, and it happens at night. And I wanted to show the triangle of the relationship. Well, they don't have a relationship yet, but there is tension between them. So I wanted to show that the main characters of this issue and the main conflict in this issue.
Again, the Gil Kane style depth screen. It's like zigzags into the back, and you've got the fair maiden with elegant, comely.
Oh, I just spoiled something, that the soldier was a.
we didn't listen to that bit.
Okay.
We had our ears covered because sometimes we embarrass ourselves.
I didn't say anything. There is a triangle, but I didn't say anything.
Well, hey, folks in the chat and the people watching this restream later, just edit that bit out. Wear a hat so you don't hear that bit. Like us. Azrael, where's your beanie today? Oh, it's somewhere downstairs, but we got cut short for time, so we haven't got our normal battle dress on. So this is our humble rough look. Never mind. We're not going to that. Oh yes. We've forgotten again when to say something. They're going to press on. It'll come back to us. So that is a beautiful Prussian midnight blue background. Great colours. We like the way you spiral in with that triangular composition, giving it layers of depth. And yes, we've got an elegant lady there with dark noir hair that we're not going to say hair that you could get your fingers entangled in, because that would be going very close to the line. We'll just step away from saying that and move on to the interior art. Azrael, what is it with today? I've just been listening to too much Carolyn Carpenter. And you know why we've probably got too much energy today? We had our first night's sleep in 5 years. We actually went to bed, Greenwich Mean Time, at 10:40. You don't want to know about the other times we were doing? Azrael, you did extras showing everything on empty in your fuselage. Hey, who knows? But last night we actually got to bed before midnight for the first time in 5 years. And we got up at 1 o'clock, then went back to sleep and got up at 5:40. Just saying, feel great. Never felt so alive. Shoulders a lot lighter, a lot heavier. Anyway, tell us about this one, interior art for Voyager 2.
Okay. In the first chapter, he meets those characters walking there, and they are going to they need to reunite with another group, and so they are leading the way, and he's just trying to keep up, and that's what's going on this page. I just wanted to show the time and the emptiness of the place, and that's it. Anything else that you can add to that? It's like I'm always amazed about how much the reader add to the page, because I maybe I thought a few things, but there are many more things that you can read into it that I don't know if I put it subconsciously. I don't know how to say that word. But when the reader read it, it's there now. So I'm always happy to hear back what others have to what the others find or read into the page. That's always amazed me.
Do you know what? I like how this guy says, I don't understand. And to our lady audiences out there, when they watch this restream in the future, think, oh, I'm a lady audience person. We'll go and watch Azrael's 5+ storytelling. He's chat to a rather timeless sort of bloke, Roberto Viacava. And we would say, you know what? Those guys don't understand anything. We don't understand a thing, but we can do art, and we're quite nice, and we're quite shy and modest. Not seriously, we repeat those things. If people think you run a show that you're this kind of cool dude and you're super confident. If we were doing that, we'd be faking it. What you're seeing is quite authentic, I'm afraid. What you see is what you get. Everything you need to know is right here in these obsidian eyes. Truth. As David Gray in his song Babylon says, if you want it, come and get it. Right then, so he doesn't understand, we don't understand, but we're great at art, and Roberto is one of the best indie comic artists, the best kept secret in the comics community, along with his book Voyager. Tank Ferret says, a reveal is only a spoiler if the journey there isn't worth taking. We would say the journey is definitely worth taking, and we, if anything to say about it, we have.
I agree.
Indeed, so do we. Did I miss the lizard, says Jay Long of Gold Boxer Heavyweight. Well, yeah, we kind of tried to edit that bit out. We don't want to spoil it, but
you saw it on the cover of issue 2.
Yes. Yeah, the lizards. We'll actually go back for it. Oh, Jay Long, seeing as you're the current record holder with 122 views on our last stream, which blew up, the chat blew up, and we had some very special people in chat. All our followers are special, but the longer they've been with the 5 pillars of Stilling, as we say, the deeper the cut. Right, let's move on to, there you go, Jay Long. There you go. Did I miss the lizards? You got 1, 2, 3, count them. Better than the alien lizards in Alien. We think they're better. They look really, really vicious. Wouldn't want to mess about with them at midnight, would you? Or 5 o'clock in the morning for 5 o'clock in the morning. That's insanity, Azrael. You haven't been doing that, have you? Oh no.
Yeah, the time in this place is behaves weirdly, to say the least.
Weirdly, we know all about that on this show. Azrael, behave yourself. It's just me. I just us, I guess. Right. Here we go. If you buy Voyager 1 and 2, John Long of Heavyweight, then you'll get your, shall I say, fill of lizards and some great art. Trust us. You can even get, if you get the digital version, so affordable. What's it, £3-4, $4? Just do it, man. It's the most affordable, and accessible comic out there. Right, and what we've got here, tank for again. Sleep. I've heard of that before. My cousin had some once. So, Azrael, you're being, we can't say anything. We're just gonna. Hey, Jay Long says, sweet. I'll tell you what. Why can't we join one of those books? We don't have to be enemies. He's a blue. We don't like him. He's a red. We don't like him. Oh, he's a green. We really don't like him. He's got Vulcan blood. You know, like us. Do you actually realize, folks, our blood is green because we've got olive skin and olive complexion. Must be all those smoothies we eat. Anyway, moving swiftly on, you part-time vegetarian, Azrael, you. Jay Long says, sweet. Why can't we be friends and supportive? Yes, be friendly rivalry. Bit of that, bit of friction is always good as you run to your plot of land at the wild frontier of any comics. But why can't we give shout-outs? On the show, we give shout-outs. All this show is, folks, is a gentle word where we shine a little bit of positivity, you know, on the passion, courage and conviction of creative leaders. Yeah, that's all we're doing. Yeah, in our case, we're thinking of everybody else as we wield the sword of light from the great darkness wars, which we can't talk about from the last 3 years. But this show is very cathartic, and you know, we'll keep it like that for now. But it is cathartic. So let's move on. So let's get back to that. We love this with the actual trade dress in the sand. Tell us about this page, please.
Well, as Gus is trying to catch up, he's asking the girls here to wait for him, and this blonde character, she doesn't care much if he follow them or not. So she tells him to choose if he wants to follow them or stay with them, and he realizes that he's being followed by these creatures that somehow the creatures they don't dare to attack them in daylight.
Right, I tell you what, John Long, you want some of those creatures, yeah? Those quote-unquote lizards. I mean, you're getting your fill for here. Maybe they a bit more coy in the daylight. Maybe don't like to attack them. Maybe they're kind of in a daytime sleep or slumber. So maybe they've got a fighting chance of getting out here without being eaten alive. And again, what we like is almost like that Star Wars scene with R2, D2 and C-3PO in Star Wars and The New Hope, and they're walking through the desert. We're getting that film studies, student of film vibe, you know? George Lucas kind of tattooing. Yeah. Right, next one, because we've got loads to get through and we want to press on. What about this one? What's happening here?
Well, they find the group they wanted to join, and they meet the new character that is going to be important in the future. He's kind of a leader of this group, and he's going to reveal vital information to our character and to the reader, so it's more understandable what's going on.
Is he almost like the wise man, the Kenobi figure, you know what I mean? A kind of wise old man kind of figure in the hero's journey?
Yeah, you can see it like the wizard on the hero's journey. Yes.
What we also like as well is the way you use the smallest amount of lines possible when you illustrate. So yes, only the simplest and most elegant lines. That's what we really like. We always look at an artist's cursive line, you know, the line that goes around the drawing, and you have the most elegant, straightforward, and like the essence of a cursive line, just enough to suggest the details on the man and a woman. It looks very elegant, and it puts across just the information you need without lots of this. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, again, this is because I was trying to focus on the color. I was trying to do, well, I'm not trying, I'm doing the color myself. So the and on the first one I was trying to render the whole figure with the color, but it was taking me too long. So now the line here is more clear, and it's it's making it, the definition of the drawing is the line, and the color it's making the whole volume and atmosphere, but there is more line than in the first chapter.
What we like about your colouring too is a very slight, very light, but we can see it. In films, they call it film grain. You know, traditional film, they call it film grain, like the dot
Yes,
film and that. You almost in your colouring have film grain, like a
yes,
speckled kind of brush texture.
Actually, it's a texture I added. It's the same texture I added on this on the on every page, because if not, you will, so to make it more like, yeah, more grainy, more texture, like, if not, it's just simple digital color. And I thought that it loses the quality of like an ancient civilization or something like that. So that's why I added the texture, the grainy thing.
Yeah, it's one of the things that actually got us to back you. You wouldn't think that's a detail, but the trade dress, the editorial, all the details
Yes.
we had to back. It became this. Speaking of this, we have got, just put in that last comment, we have got, welcome to the chat, Bianca Yamakoshi. Who are we talking about? Here we are. Hello there. Hello, boys. Bianca Gothic Noir, as we dubbed her art style. Yamakoshi is almost an Alex Tothian disciple. Contrast, pulp, noir, film noir, black and white, and has that old film noir, classical black and white emphasis on storytelling.
Yes.
Emotions, you talk about your pencils. Emotions are in red and blue, which actually guide the composition when the art is being constructed compositionally. So the background character might be blue, the foreground character might be actually penciled in red, which actually on the eyes is a lot easier, because when you're composing the scene, you can think, right, this is the foreground, like you do, Roberto, with a foreground, middle ground, background. Bianca uses a red pencil and a blue pencil to layer the elements, actually, so codify it with actual color. So we can imagine when Bianca goes on the holiday, she's probably going to take a red pencil and a blue pencil and a sketchbook, and probably a big jar of black Alex Toth ink, and either an ink pen, or is it a samurai sword? Anyway, moving swiftly on. Welcome to the chat, Bianca Yamakoshi. Her pencils are, by the way, very emotive, but also quite good at coloring. Now, you folks, all artists have a colorist in them, yeah? Because we're artists, yeah? And what Bianca Yamakoshi has is a sense of almost pulp heat to the color from that pulp era, yeah? Where the colors are rich and romantic, yeah? So,
Nice.
yeah, welcome to the chat. We like our special followers. We do. Right then, tell us about this one. It looks like we're in trouble, folks.
Yeah, well, they are organizing the caravan they are going on, and he takes a look back of the minutes. That's like how is it? It's like foreshadowing of what's to come.
A foreshadowing, yeah. Now we're getting to it now. We think one's still a favorite cover, but we respect this one. This one is like those old mythology books that you get from the library, and that tell about the Greek myths, the Norse myths, the Roman, etc., etc. Yeah, this is one hell of a cover. Tell us what inspired this as a cover.
Well, this synthesizes what's going on in issue 3. That well, I'm gonna spoil it, but it's you have to read it anyway. You can see some of the art of issue 3 here in my background too, and basically is Voyager. It's in this case Gus Bennett, our protagonist, but he's not the only one. And this is like a collage of all the previous Voyagers that have come to the city, this Greek city that they are going to be in this issue. And the bearded man, it's gonna make an exposition about the history of the city.
Right, story. Slight updated one because he's had 3 issues on Kickstarter. Movie voice time. Here we are. We're going in. We're looking forward to this. Voyager represents an adventure story inspired by Greek myths and fantastic journeys, reminiscent of Moby's Ozark and John Carter of Mars. Think of Jim Caviezel's Outlander meets Clash of the Titans. One of our favorite movies. If you want to know anything else about Azrael, you know what? Our favorite bit is at the end where Laurence Olivier, as he says, "Let the poetry of the destiny shine forever. As long as the stars burn until they fade from time, let them be happy together." So yes, this is a hero's journey where our protagonist must first discover himself to become more than he ever expected. Along the way, he encounters 2 women, surely just one. 2 women, each representing different aspects of the same coin, both essential to his path of self-discovery. Anything what you want to add to issue 3 there, Roberto?
To issue 3, well, the story in particular, about the girls, 2 different parts of the same coin. One is the pushy one, like the encouraging one.
Ladies are pushy, Roberto Viacava. You can't say that. Show you're going to get our show whacked. The YouTube gods will go, Azrael, your show's off. Roberto, we're going to cancel him as well.
I'll say the encouraging one, and the other one is like more maternal, like more what do you say, the protective one.
Right, so you've got one that's pushy and one that's protective, and they both begin with P. Let's move on. We're being so naughty today. We're not. We've had a good night's sleep. It's been 5 years, folks. It's anniversary of not sleeping. Right then, interior art. Now this, folks, is where it's going down with classical art illustration. No speech balloons necessary. This is pure Hitchcock. Tell us about this page, Roberto, of issue 3.
Yes, in this page, I wanted to show, well, not only me, the writer too, I should include him, that we wanted to show you the city, the life on the city, and these strange things that occur in this little market with big lizard eggs and all kind of creatures that they use in their daily life, like the big flying lizards and the ones that carry the carriage, and the giant one in the first panel that they use as transport, like a big dump truck or something. But yeah, the idea is that to immerse the reader on the daily life of this city.
I'll name that tune in 1. Immerse. When we're listening, we'll wait for the word to drop from the great ether. Immersion. Immerse is what we're getting there, yeah? Through pure, classical, timeless storytelling. It speaks to us. Because, you know, Roberto, Azrael's just an old-fashioned guy at heart. Will you work digitally, Azrael, or will you actually use your pencil? You had to ask. Moving on from our riddles, interior art. Now, this one we're in ancient Greece. Tell us about it, please, Roberto.
Yeah, it's another angle. in the first page we see the daily life, and in this one I just wanted to show you the scale of this market, and that they are in the middle of the desert. You can see in the horizon. And in the second panel we are going to be going in and introducing ourselves in the story of this chapter.
Roberto, I hope you're paying attention, chat and listeners out there. We're going to say this. This. With your eyes closed, Azrael. Got to feel the moment. Palms open to the universe. This is everything we want or need. Summed up in a page. Now, looks like we've got Bruce Lee getting into the swimming pool. Good job you were careful that last panel. We've got basically a kind of Greek Roman bath situation. Tell us about this page. It's beautiful, Roberto.
Thank you. Yes. Again, this is more, we're inside now, and this is more of the daily life. And we get to our character, that it's finding out how this works, and just a little bit of wonder about the magic of this place with the self-filling pool.
Yeah, so that pool has healing properties. Don't say anything, say nothing. We're just being provocative. Sometimes our questions, which sometimes get confused because they use strange words and can be quite medieval. Remember, Azrael is not first language English. His first language, Azrael. English is actually our second language. So sometimes people can be confused when he speaks his round riddles. Oh, wait a minute, you've got a comment. I'm really digging the environments. They're not treated like an accessory, but an actual character unto itself. Absolutely bullseye on that comment.
Yeah, that's the idea. They are telling part of the story too. So as I said before, the what, who, what, and where.
Who, what, and where. Tell you what, Tank's on fire in the chat today. Tell you what, we've got to go to the next one. Just let's get through it.
Yeah, I have like 5 minutes more, and I have to leave, sadly.
No problem.
So in this page, this character, his name is Nestor. They were talking. This is not the next page from the last one, but they were talking, and he's now introducing our protagonist to the history, and you will. Well, they are going down to the root of the city. So they're going to retell the story in a few murals that come in the next pages, and some are behind me.
Right, Roberto, we're going to have to go in turbo mode, right?
Yes.
So we're going to speed through this with God's good grace. Godspeed, turbo mode. Here we go. The two main characters. Love the picture of the art. It's in your classic style. We love the bookmark for keeping where you got up to in the storyline. That is absolutely brilliant. Love that. That's one of our favorite pictures. And, you know, it's an Amazon and a guy. Love it. Testimony, Cal Prometheus, one of the best indie comic books I have backed thus far. A true labor of love I see in this. Folder, the first issue is short, but overall very good. Intriguing enough to make readers want to go beyond. Worth backing the next issue. Yes, you can catch the comment on the restream for Humanity Studios. We're pressing on. Creative team is Roberto Viacava. Tell you what, pause the stream and read that. Right, next, Azrael. Next one is Rodolfo Santillo. Pause on the restream. We'll be looking like this. Right, moving on. So you know he's the writer. You know he's the artist. We spent 2 hours talking about it. Come on, you know, right? There's your merch bundle. We've got comics, variant covers, and they're all, oh mummy, just look at them. We want them all. You've got digital editions that are accessible and affordable to international customers who don't want to get crushed by international shipping on paper copies, and posters of the Infinity cover. Love it. Love it. You can read it on your phone, on your pad, or basically smell and feel and eyeball the real thing in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. So the Kickstarter for issue 4 will come real soon. We're going to show the trailer real quick. Let's do it. Right, I did it there. I think it's that one. Here we go. To stage. That's the last one. That one. I think it's this one. At the stage, is it this one? We've got to take that off and put that one onto the stage and play. Let's go to the thing. Need to monitor setup for this.
It must be a mistake. I'm on the coordinates I've been given. There is nothing here. Hello. Are you lost?
You need to leave. You don't know me, but you have to trust me.
What?
You need to leave, right now. Oh no, it's too late.
I made the voices with AI, but I think I need new ones.
Oh, great, brother. Absolutely love that. Absolutely do. We need to put the presentation back to the stage. There we go. All right, show trailer. We've done that. Thank you, Tank. For the lightning round, Godspeed. We certainly did that. Let's get back onto this. We've got to really kick some bacon butty this time. Will I like Voyager? We'll answer that one for you. Yes. Who's it for? All of us. We want to make this guy a million. Move on. Right, next. Why did you create indie comics? For this. We don't need to explain it. You're looking at. That's the reason creating indie comics. Where did this journey begin? Oh, sometime in ancient Greece. We know that already. We've been talking about it for 2 hours. So next one. What advice would you give aspiring creators? Because on this show, we listen, learn, and share. Go for it, Roberto. Nice, short, and sweet.
Take action. Don't be afraid to fail. I'm saying it to you and to myself. Don't be afraid to fail and go again. It's a never-ending game. It's you make a mistake, learn from it, go again, take action.
Great communication skills. It's all down to that. Talk with your writer. Talk to everybody who's special in life. Communication is king. Yeah, you'll feel better afterwards. And what Roberto's saying, action. Walk and talk is better than thinking. So Azrael, stop thinking, take some action and do it. Matter of fact, we got to bed last night for a nice early time, and we feel like we can take some action for the first time in years. Moving swiftly on, what superhero would Roberto Viacava be? Let's do it. One word answer. Boom. Let's go.
I don't know. The top of my head, I say Superman, but not for the powers, just because for what he stands for.
Being a nice, decent, noble guy. Like 80% of us blokes out there. Moving swiftly on. Bonus questions, only 1 or 2. What are your plans for Voyager going forwards? Issue 4?
Yeah, issue 4, yes. And 5 and 6.
Favorite
pizza.
Pizza?
Favorite pizza, I'll say... I think we have different tastes of pizza in Argentina, but there is one that it's called I don't know how to say in English, but I'll say 4 cheese. 4 cheese is one of my
4 cheeses. We've got one like that in England. It's like 3 toppings of cheese, but
there is another one that is like cheese and onions, but I don't know how to say it in English.
Cheese and onions is fine. No, you're doing just great. I'll tell you what, you speak better English than us. I'll tell you what, 4 cheeses, we would just basically, our body and our face would slip, and we'd probably do something like this. No, ladies, we don't eat like that. Knife and fork. No, Azrael, can you use your fingers for eating pizza? He says quickly. Absolutely. Moving swiftly on. Where can they find out more info? www.robertviacavaillustration.com. X.com is on there, on that place where good things happen. So we hear Robert Viacava Roberto on X, and he's got his own link tree, which has got a shed or an ancient Greek temple full of links. And there we're going to say the one and only Robert Viacava. We've got about 10 seconds. I think we just made it before we make you late for your next appointment in real life. Thank you very much for being our special guest. You are timeless warrior, Spartan warrior, special guest. We wish you well and Godspeed, Roberto Viacava. Please like, comment, follow our YouTube so we can make more creators like Roberto be seen brighter like the stars in those ancient Greek skies. And we will say now, we're going to play the outro trailer. We're going to add it to the stage.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure. It was a blast.
It's fine. Love you.